Don't you have a responsibility towards your future self and also that small child in that photo looking in your eyes? We think about life all the time instead of actively living it. How can I become more involved in life? Some say go this way, some say go that way. Okay. Yo guys, namaskaram. So I'm glad I'm able to record a video after so long. Uh like there have been like so many challenges going on in my life that YouTube had just taken more of a backseat, and like yeah, still like going through, let's say, some therapy uh, and a lot of other things, right? But I thought, okay, like maybe just kind of getting back onto doing something that I love is how I think genuinely, like, I can just start kind of giving more and more, let's say, coming more and more out of my own rut, and also do justice to the newly grown community, or let's say the newly grown members that have come to my platform, right? So I really appreciate it. Let's see how uh, this video kind of goes. Lately, I've been reading Mastery by Robert Greene, wherein he talks about the idea of becoming masters in one field or the other. Every one of us comes with a unique set of genes on this planet. Never before or never after will it be replicated in the history of this planet. He says, and I quote, in our culture, we tend to equate thinking and intellectual powers with success and achievement. In many ways, however, it is an emotional quality that separates those who master a field from the many who simply work at a job. Our levels of desire, patience, persistence, and confidence end up playing a much larger role in success than sheer reasoning powers. Feeling motivated and energized, we can overcome almost anything. Feeling bored and restless, our minds shut off and we become increasingly passive. And I unquote. So you might have seen this notion in the world lately that it's okay to live life like a loser. Not everyone makes it to the top. True, but does that mean that we stop striving for greatness in our own field? There's a difference between passivity and actively choosing to limit the game because you have played it enough. It's only by becoming a master that you will yield power in this world. There might be moments in your life when you feel that suddenly ideas that you never thought were possible start approaching you because those ideas trust you that they can be executed through you. We want to show the world that what happens in our life is not our responsibility, it's fate. How our parents raised us in our situations are very different, and a hell lot of other things. You won't understand. Well, you want to hear the truth. There is someone out there in this world with much worse conditions than you and is outworking you daily because he wants to get out of that shithole circumstances. Everyone eventually gets what they deserve in life through their actions. Your mind and body are developed to the level of work that you'll put into them. There is a complete process laid out by Robert on how we can become masters of a chosen field. I'd like to summarize some of these major learnings that I've had while experimenting with his ideas. So I'll also lay out a complete series because the book itself requires a lot more videos than I can cover on this just single one. So the most crucial thing is that the more we let society's noise sink into our brains, the more we will lower our standards as to what we can accomplish in this world. When people talk about how the system is and whatnot, well, it's a fucking man-made system. Rules can be changed all the time provided you're the one making them. Leo Tolstoy states, and I quote, the most difficult subjects can be explained to the most slow-witted man if he has not formed any idea of them already. But the simplest thing cannot be made clear to the most intelligent man if he is firmly persuaded that he knows already. That feeling of, I know it all. Someone else's belief should not become eternal facts or truths for the way we live our lives. If there are problems in your life, pick them and solve them. Don't run away from them. Like it like sounds good on paper that, like, just to escape that pain in the short term. You're running away from your problem, giving that distance, but eventually it would just come you and bite you in the back in the longer term. Nature will decimate us if we're not careful. There's a rule that I've heard about being up or out. We might have seen a tendency within ourselves that there comes a point when we say we know too much. We don't want to grow now, and everything seems to take a sort of complacency within our lives because we have kind of reached a level of comfort. Either, let's say, financially, we're just kind of moving the car slowly, right? Everything that happens in our life is a form of instruction by the universe if we tend to pay attention. We all have a unique seed planted in us. The only question is how and in what circumstances will we water those seeds and that seed will grow. Our responsibility is to nurture it. Doing the right thing towards us is more important than doing the right thing for other people, their dreams or ambitions. So there are countless examples in history which Robert lays out, wherein, people have found their unique voices, but by just serving to what their intuition felt was right. So Charles Darwin followed his innate curiosity of just observing and studying deeply all forms of life around him. This led him to discover the theory of evolution, which still, to this date, serves as the foundation for a lot of things. Another prominent example is Da Vinci, right? He is considered as one of the greatest artists of all time because he combined his scientific outlook with his artistic talent. So if you observe within your environment, you might find such anomalies in your real day-to-day life. To become the best, we have to be a bit weird, and it's sometimes okay to be called out for. Lately, I also tried combining this insight with something that I had heard from Alex Hormozi. So he's a famous YouTuber, talks about businesses and things like that, right? He says that we must compare ourselves to the future self that we want to build. So there's a very interesting example. Let us say you live among the typical salaried employed people, right? And your goal for the entire year would be just to get a 30 to 40% hike, or let's say at best a 50% hike by whatever means necessary. This could mean going behind people's back, the corporate games, right? How people just kind of ditch each other. So that's a noble pursuit for you personally, but let us consider a millionaire who lives among people who have 10x, 20x of the worth he has. Then this leads to a situation wherein he wants to 10x his money. And in the other case of being a salaried employed, it's hardly 50%, that's half of it, right? 0.5x. Well, let's say if you switch jobs, you get a 100% increase. Still, that's a 1x increase, not a 10x or 20x increase. So the level of desperation that both the people will have will quite different. In which case do you think the person will be more motivated? I think you know the answer. I don't need to give you that answer. So I'm sure there might be certain situations in life wherein you're just confused about the path you want to take in life. Will my life and efforts mean anything at the end? So, a practical exercise would be pick up a photo from your childhood. See the look in that child's eyes and then look at your current self. What is it in you that has changed so drastically that you now fear so much of the world around? Don't you have a responsibility towards your future self and also that small child in that photo looking in your eyes? We think about life all the time instead of actively living it. How can I become more involved in life? Some say go this way, some say go that way. What is it that speaks to my heart? Am I not confident enough in life to follow what I feel is right? So this video might be stretched a little longer, so I'll cover all the remaining points in more and more videos as I kind of go deeper and deeper into this book and experiment more with these learnings. But Like fundamentally, I feel like it's one of those books like which every one of us should read to avoid a lot of work problems, existential crisis problems, and whatnot that we generally face in life. Anyhow, thanks for being patient with me, and let's see how my content kind of sums up and takes a change in a different direction. And let me know what you feel about this video. Until then, this is Devashish Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers. Bye.